YouTube family, what's up? This is Marks from Marks Remarks. Hopefully you're having a good time, good day, good evening, or whatever it is you're having at the time that you're watching this video. Hopefully it's good. Today, I'm going to talk about a song that I remember back when I was growing up. I mean, a classic. I mean, a phenomenal song by a phenomenal individual that created some phenomenal music. The title was very philosophical in a sense, moving, one may say, earth-shattering, the way he put together the title for this song. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, an oldie but a goodie. The title of the song was I Ain't Never Scared. You got that? I ain't never scared. Excuse my vernacular for all my educators that are watching this. But the title of the song was I Ain't Never Scared. I thought that was a phenomenal song back in the day when I was growing up, or when I was coming up. I wasn't young when the song came out, but it was a good song at the time and I enjoyed it. But the question I have is, how do you go from being scared or afraid to the position of being I ain't never scared? It means I never have fear. Or one may say that when fear confronts me, I strike back at that fear. It is my belief that fear comes to harm and rob us from our goals and our destiny. I think fear is masked in so many different forms and fashions, and its main goal is to attempt to stop us from getting to where we desire to get to. For me, anytime that I stopped pursuing a goal, anytime that I did not continue with something that I said I wanted to continue with, all of it had its root in fear. I wanted to go out and do this investment, but then I thought, well, I don't have enough money. That is fear. I wanted to go and I wanted to go to this school over here that I thought was a better school, but then a thought came that made me doubt my original thought, which was all rooted in fear. I wanted to go and get these grades, but then a thought came and said, well, you're not smart enough, or you're not good enough. So then I didn't pursue it. I wanted to go apply for this job, and so on and so on. So how do I get to the point where I want to do something and I don't let fear take my heart and cripple it, so that I don't pursue the thing that I say that I want, or the thing that my Creator has put in my heart to say that it should be mine? So I want to have that same attitude like that song was when he said, excuse my vernacular, I ain't never scared. Well, I'm not afraid of anything, where nothing is making me afraid. How do I get to that point? Now I can tell you what I do to help me when I'm afraid. First thing I do is, when I'm afraid, I told you before, I'm a Christian man. I believe in the principles of the Bible. I just think it's true. I think that book has lasted the test of time, and there's so many great stories and poems and testimonies in that book. And first thing I do is, when I'm confronted with a fear, or I'm confronted with something that grips my heart to make me feel afraid, I go to the good book. Gotta go to the good book. I go to that book and I find something that is encouraging and that helps me keep my mind focused on the thing that I say I want. So first thing I do is I go to the Bible. You might go to some type of poem. You might go to some type of literature to help get your mind. In football, they say get your mind right. I had an old strength and conditioning coach who said, it's time to get your mind right. For all my football players that played with me, you know who I'm talking about. Hopefully he says that because hopefully he sees that, because he would say that every morning at 4:30 in the morning, saying it's time to get our minds right. So when I go and find a piece of literature, what happens is when the fearful thought comes in my mind, I need to find another thought to replace that thought. Okay, so my original thought was, I want to do this. The fearful thought comes in and says, you can't do this. So then I need to find a word or a thought that then replaces that old thought, if that makes sense to you. Because that thought that came to me was a negative thought. So then I need to find another thought that says, here's the positive thought. I have a goal, and then now a negative thought comes into my mind. I need to replace that negative thought with a positive thought. The way I do that is I go to the Bible, because it has so many phenomenal stories and so many positive affirmations that I read that helps change my thinking, okay? Second thing I do is I pray about it, or I meditate about it. When I say meditate or pray, it's really, I have the new thought, but to make that thought solidified in my mind, I pray it, or I speak it, or I do affirmations, or I meditate on it, meaning that I say it over and over again to myself until that thought actually takes root. So if I had a thought that says, you can't do it, you're not going to be successful, I find something, some literature, something that tells me that I can be successful. After I do that, I then pray, meditate, say affirmations about it, say, you know what, I can be successful. I can do this. I will make it. I can make this happen. I am smart enough. I am bright enough. So for my young people that are going back to school today or tomorrow, if you're back in school, when that thought comes into your mind that says that you're not good enough, first, find a new thought. Find somebody to tell you a new thought about you. Second, meditate, pray, say affirmations about it. Say it over and over again until you start believing. Number 3 thing I do is I stay focused. After that, I stay focused on the day-to-day tasks of things that I can control. When you hear a lot of noise and there's a lot of things talking to you, the worst thing you want to do is start to pay attention to that noise more than you pay attention to the job that you have to do. You don't want to get caught up in all the things that people are saying, all the things that is going on around you to get you to be distracted from the task that is at hand. So the third thing I do is when I find myself in situations that are making me afraid, I then start doing the day-to-day things. I control what I can control. I can't control what's going to happen tomorrow. I can't control what this person might do or that person might do. The only person I can control is myself. And what I have learned, folks, in my lifetime is that when things come to grip my heart and make me afraid, most times if I don't give a lot of energy to it and I don't put a lot of focus into it, most times I have learned that that thing doesn't even come to pass. It doesn't even hit my doorsteps most times. Most times it's what I call panic, meaning it's groundless fear, meaning it's something to try to shake my emotions and to get me away from the thing that I say I want. Again, I think fear is the biggest enemy that's out there, and fear is attempting to move us away from what we want to do or what our goals are, because it comes to try to steal something from us. So 3 things that you do, that I do, to help me go from afraid to I ain't never scared. When a thought comes, I find a new thought. Second, I meditate and say affirmations about that. Pray. Third, I stay focused on what I control. YouTube family, this is Marks from Marks Remarks. That is my time. I will have more series about how to deal with fear, because there's so many people that are going through this world anxious and worried and concerned. But I give you my word, if you do those 3 things, it will help minimize and lessen that anxiety and lessen that fear that you're dealing with, so that you can get that goal that you say that you want. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit the like button. If you think somebody else needs it, hit the share button. Take your mouse and hit the share button. And if you really enjoyed it and you say, hey, I want to hear some more things like that, hit the subscribe button. For all the folks that think this can be beneficial for them or beneficial for somebody else, please make sure that you leave some comments in that comment section before. I appreciate all the love that you've been showing me. Until next time, peace.